Over 350 Imperial Japanese aircraft launched a devastating surprise strike on the U.S. Pacific Fleet stationed at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. In a matter of minutes, Battleship Row was in flames. Over 2,400 Americans lost their lives, and the United States was hurled directly into the bloodiest global conflict in human history. To understand why Japan attacked, we have to look back at the late 1930s. Japan was rapidly expanding its empire across Asia, invading Manchuria and mainland China. To halt this aggression, the United States imposed severe economic sanctions, eventually placing a complete embargo on oil exports to Japan. Faced with running out of fuel within a year, Imperial Japanese military leaders saw only two options: back down or strike first. Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto designed a daring plan: knock out the U.S. Pacific Fleet at Pearl Harbor in a single decisive strike, buying Japan enough time to secure the oil-rich resource region of Southeast Asia without American interference. At 7:48 a.m. on December 7th, the first wave hit. U.S. military personnel on the ground initially thought it was a training drill until bombs started dropping. Japanese torpedo bombers flew low over the water, modifying their torpedoes with wooden fins to operate in Oahu's shallow waters. Within minutes, the USS Oklahoma was capsized, and a high-altitude armor-piercing bomb struck the forward magazine of the USS Arizona, causing a catastrophic explosion that killed 177 sailors instantaneously. At 8:54 a.m., a second wave of 171 aircraft struck, targeting airfields to prevent American fighters from getting airborne. Despite the chaos, anti-aircraft crews and a handful of U.S. pilots managed to fight back, but the damage was done. By 9:45 a.m., the Japanese fleet turned back toward Asia, leaving Oahu choking in thick black smoke. While the attack was a tactical shock, it was a long-term strategic mistake for Japan. First, none of the primary targets, the U.S. Pacific Fleet's 3 aircraft carriers, were in the harbor that day. They were out at sea delivering planes. Second, Japanese forces failed to destroy Pearl Harbor's submarine base, repair shops, and massive fuel storage tanks. Without those oil reserves, the U.S. Navy would have had to retreat all the way back to California. Instead of breaking American morale as Yamamoto had hoped, the attack galvanized the nation. The next day, President Franklin D. Roosevelt addressed Congress, declaring December 7th a date which will live in infamy. Congress declared war on Japan with only one dissenting vote.
Was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
The attack at Pearl Harbor did not defeat the United States. It fundamentally transformed it. It converted the world's largest peacetime industrial economy into an unstoppable war engine. Factories that once produced civilian automobiles were converted overnight into assembly lines for bombers, tanks, and naval fleets that would eventually dwarf the combined military strength of the Axis powers. Japan's tactically successful morning raid had, in reality, awakened an industrial titan. Today, oil still trickles to the ocean surface from the sunken hull of the USS Arizona, a quiet, haunting reminder of the lives lost and the incredible weight of that Sunday morning. Pearl Harbor wasn't just the start of America's involvement in World War II, it was the exact moment the balance of global power shifted forever.